everyone. I've just finished unboxing my latest purchase. These have been around for a while, although this variant I think came out 6 months ago or so. I'm talking about the Rode Wireless Go mic system. Now, I have the original one here. I have actually 3 of these, and these have proven to be fantastic little mics. I've been using wireless mics for years, and when these came along, they were a game changer in that. Let's go back a bit. Wireless mics in the past were very expensive, had frequency problems, and there were also problems where the government would make changes to the spectrum, and then before you knew it, the expensive equipment you had were redundant. So along come Rode, and they, without getting into the technicality of it, they use what they call the digital 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. I'm not sure about that. I'll come back to it. The point is, they use a different spectrum and use some fairly sophisticated processing to maintain to basically maintain connectivity without any problems. Now, that being said, there is one limitation with these, and that is that the distance that you can be from the camera or the recording device. The bigger ones, the more expensive ones, you can have, which I still have, and I use them for greater distance recording. But to be honest with you, most of the sort of work I do these days, these are what I use them for. When these first came out some years ago, they were a first generation product. And as a result, there were a couple of quirky things. Number one, the little wind gag, which actually works well when it can stay attached. So actually, let's go back. Sorry, I just suddenly realized, some of you who might not know much about these, you have 2 parts. You have the actual receiver that mounts on top of the camera, and you run a small cable into your camera. And if you have, say, an XLR ported camera, you can have one of these plugs, and you plug that in, and away it goes. You then have the second part, which is it's the transceiver, but it also is a wireless mic in its own right. So you can use this 2 ways. You can actually have a lapel mic that you can put in here, and you plug it into the little socket here, and you can put this somewhere else and use it like a conventional lav mic. But the thing that I love about it, it's actually got its own microphone built in. And then when you use the wind guard, put that there, and you clip that on, you've literally got a very convenient microphone system. As I said, the only downside with this was the fact that the wind guard, the method of clipping on was not the best. It uses 2 prongs, and you've got to push it on, and okay, there we go, it's on. But it's easy to knock off, and as I said, it was one of the small negatives. The other negative, which not really negative, it's just a restriction, and that is as I counted to before, the distance by which you can work between the recorder and the mic. Look, for the type of work that I do, it's not an issue, but it would be nice occasionally to have longer distance. And the third limitation, again, not a negative, a limitation, is that if I wanted to have 2 mics, I had to have 2 receivers. And Okay, that's fine. And I've got 3 of these packages now. That just means that I have to set up 2 different receivers. If I'm using the Canon EOS R that I am now, it would mean that I'll have to run a secondary recording device to record the 2 different channels. And then Rode released this. So what this is basically this, but with 3 changes. The 3 improvements over the original. Number 1 is that you have 1 receiver and 2 transmitters. And that means that you can have 2 people, like an interview situation, talking away with the 1 receiver on the camera, recording into the 2 channels on your camera. The second advantage with this new model is that they have improved the windshield. And I'll use this one here for the moment, but apparently, unlike the old system where you have to push it on, you literally just push it and then you turn it and it locks. And I can now do whatever I want with that and it's not going to come off. I mean, that's a hell of an improvement. So as far as I'm concerned, that is a big tick. And then the third improvement is the range. They tell me that it can do up to 200 meters line of sight. That's not bad. That's actually pretty damn good. I dare say that would handle most applications I'm looking for. But there's a bonus, and this blows my mind. For the money you get with the transmitters, they have onboard recording. Think about that for a minute. So it's not set up straight away. You have to download an app from Rode. It's called Rode Connect, and you then have to plug these in, and you go in and you set the how you want to record. There are three modes. There's obviously not recording. There's always recording, which means as soon as you turn these on, they will just record. Or there's I've forgotten the term for it, but basically I think it's backup recording, and it means that as soon as you connect these to the receiver, they will start recording. And that's probably the way I'll set it up. I mean, this blows my mind. And think about this. Just think about this is going to become a major problem I've had in the past. If you have these 2 on individuals, one person here, A and B, and you're transmitting to the receiver and recording into the camera. I have had in the past, it's rare, but people with mobile phones can just for very brief instances interrupt the recording, and you get basically a gap, and it's annoying. It's rare, but it can happen. But think about this. These are recording internally. So if that happens, once you've finished your editing and you suddenly discover that the actual wireless recording has had an interruption, well, you can just go in to the transmitter and grab a backup copy and use it. I mean, seriously, this is mind-blowing stuff. And here we go. This is the other thing. So, how much time can you record? Right. So, compressed audio up to 40 hours. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a bit of a bit anal about trying to get good quality, whether it's video or audio, and so I looked at the specs, and you can actually set it to record 24-bit WAV files. These are high-quality files, very, very low compressed. And you can record up to 7 hours. Now, think about that. That means that for most jobs that I will do generally speaking, I think the longest recording I've ever done in respect to an interview with a couple of people was 2 hours. So you could do a job with these, recording internally, 24-bit WAV files, and you have yourself the highest quality audio you can get in regard to this type of recording situation. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This, to me, is brilliant. And the wireless Go system has always been good, but I think Rode have just knocked it out of the park. Okay, it's a few hours later. It's actually a bit warmer. And I'm now testing these two mics. So, this is the right mic. And this is the left mic. And as you'll probably hear, you'll hear them on, because I'll keep this in stereo mode when I'm editing it. And as I said, that's my left and that's my right. So far so good. So to turn it on, we push and hold this for a few seconds. And if you look closely, you'll see that that's now on. And if I move this back and we just focus in on that, you will see that they are now not flashing. So that indicates they're connected. That's how easy it is. The only thing I wanted to show you was this new wind cover. It literally, look, I can, it's on. It's on there to stay. I mean, that is fantastic. And you've got to screw it to take it off. So, again, brilliant. I think that'll do with this part of it. I'll now show you the software that you can use to connect and just what you can do. Okay, I'm now sitting at my desk with a computer, and I've got all three of the Rode Wireless Go 2 components hooked up to the computer via USB. Over here we have the receiver, and these two are the transmitters. So now, if we go in and find the, I know what it is, I've already moved it, it's in the audio section. So, under the Rode Central, it's called, and you open that, and if you see, hey presto, I've got all components there. There at the top here we've got transmitter, and if you click on that you can go in, and if you open this little gear thing there, and you can actually come in and make some alterations. Now this is where, so you know how we can record to the transmitters. Well, I'm not sure which one this is, but it doesn't matter. I can now alter that. So with that button there, you could, that won't record at all, no matter what. If I go there, it means that as soon as you turn them on, they'll start recording. And if you go there, which is backup, which is probably the one I'll use most of the time, it means that they'll only start recording once they hook up to the receiver. It's not a bad system actually. And down here, this is where you select the particular quality. Now in my case, I'm going for broadcast quality uncompressed, which will give me roughly 7 hours of recording time. This here will tell you how much, it says 6+ hours formatting remaining, and that'll tell you how much you've recorded. Push the button, that little bin button, to get rid of it, and that's it. Now, if we, this down here you have device time, the settings, these are, and the firmware. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. When I first plugged these into the computer, after unpackaging, they instantly worked out that they needed new firmware, and they just downloaded it and installed it without any mucking around whatsoever. It was easy, so that's good. So now we'll go back to, so here we go. As I said, at the moment we're on that particular transmitter, and we've got 3 different recordings. And like if I play that now, So if I move this back, so that was me mucking around before. Now you hit this export button here, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it at record 3. And here you can select what you want, but I'm going to keep them as the defaults because I like high quality. Wave 24 volts, 20 sorry. Wave 48 kilohertz and 24 bits PCM. So I mean, yeah, hell, you've even got 32-bit float if you want. Wow. Anyway, you push the export button. This comes up. Choose an area that you want to put it. I've already created a directory called test. Put it there. Go open. It records. Sorry, it's copying the recordings. We wait until the green line finishes. Then you push the little blue button, and that's done. And if I now go to that test directory, there it is in all its glory. If you look, red. So now we go back, and now I go to the other transmitter, and we wait. And there we go. Look, here are all the recordings. And the same thing, push the gear, and you can make these changes that you need relative to your own preferences. And okay, so in this case, I've decided I'm going to get rid of all these recordings. Now that's interesting. I was curious to see. Okay, so you have to do one at a time. Oh no, that's right. I remember now. So if we go back, so go to the gear. That's what it is. You click that. That will now delete all recordings on that device. It's almost finished. There we go. So we're now clear. So there's absolutely no recordings listed in this window. So I go back to the first. So they're still there. So if I now go in, hit the gear, push the bin, delete. I've now got totally on both transmitters. They're empty and ready to go for the next recording. Then we get to the receiver. We go in there, and you can turn on or off the backlights, gain mode. You can make changes to the gain that you can do on using the button. All these different things. Tells you your battery. That's about it. I think, as you can see, that's pretty straightforward and simple and easy to use. So I might just close that. And I think we'll just leave it at that. I'm really impressed. I also love the fact that it's an Australian company, an Australian product. And I can't say any more about it other than the fact that it's a brilliant product. So thank you. See you next time.